Hey guys, it's Ann here with Sell Like a Rebel. Okay, I want to share something with you guys. I want to share how I create, well, this is for my weekly newsletter, but I also apply the same strategy when I'm creating promotional emails to my list and when I'm posting on Facebook groups or on social media. The cool thing about this strategy that I use here to create content, the really cool thing about it is that you can adjust this content after you've pulled it all together. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do this here. But after I pull this all together, I can customize it and go through and edit this so that I can apply it to other platforms. So I mainly use it for my newsletter, but like I said, after I pull this all together, I can break this down and I can shorten it and use it in other places like my Facebook group or other social media platforms. I can, use it for promotional emails, and I can even use it as sort of a guide for some of my sales pages. So what I want to share with you is basically what I do to create content quickly and easily, right? So versus spending hours and hours and hours of creating content, trying to think about what to say, trying to think about what to write, I basically instead use this formula. It's a 7-step formula that I use here. I've got the steps listed out here. And now what I want to do is show you how I pull these 7 steps together and create content. And you guys can do this. And the great thing about this that's really cool is it saves me about 2 hours a week, because before I figured this process out, which I figured out, just to scale back a bit, I figured it out through just creating an email one day that actually worked. It actually got me some open rates. It actually got me some click-through rates. I actually had people reply and comment back and stuff. So when I realized that was working, I kept playing with that formula and I fine-tuned it. So most of you in my circle, if you've known me for a bit, if you've been following me, if you've been reading emails and stuff like that, then you guys know that I'm pretty big about creating step-by-step formulas, because I think it makes things that are complicated feel a little easier, right? It's a lot. I like to take the complexity out of things and simplify them. So for me, having a 1, 2, 3, 4x step process is a lot easier to follow, right? So I have, this is just one of my step-by-steps. I do this with everything. I have like a step-by-step for everything I do, which makes my marketing a flippin' breeze. I mean, honestly, I market so much easier now than I ever did before, because I follow these simple little like 1, 2, 3 steps. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go through how I do this so that you can literally see this in live action. Like, here's how this works. Here's how I pull it all together. And then if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Let me know what your questions are. Let me know your takeaways, your thoughts. Okay, so the first thing that I do here is I don't create my subject line first, because typically I like to write out the content first, and then it kind of helps me come up with a better subject line. So the first step is here. You want to write out 2 to 3 of the biggest pain points that your audience has. And then what you'll do is you'll create 1 sentence for each one. So I might say, do you, and here's the other thing, I want to add this. I already know this, but I'll add it here. Be sure to turn it into a question. So a lot of the times I used to send off emails that were like, do you struggle with this and do you struggle with that, or are you tired of that? But here's the thing. So what you want to do is you want to take the top 2 or 3 biggest pain points that your audience is currently dealing with or struggling with. And now, obviously, you need to go figure out what those are. But once you know what they are, you want to create a sentence for each one, and you want to turn it into a question. Okay, this entices people to keep reading, and it just makes your emails more interesting. That's the bottom line, right? Because if people aren't interested, if you don't get their attention right away, they're not going to even bother reading your email. So I might say, let's give, I'm literally just kind of winging this here, so bear with me. But I might say something like, do you ever wonder why booking discovery calls is so damn hard? Like, out of, like, seriously, we have billions of people on the net, and we can't seem to book a qualified discovery call if our life depended on it. Now, that's a little bit longer than I would normally do it, but I'm going to show you how I pull all this together. So just bear with me, because I'm just literally winging this here with you. Okay, so then I might say, so there's one of my pain points, right? Then I might say, have you ever thought that maybe there is a faster and easier way that you could book discovery calls? Right? So have you ever thought, like, maybe there's a faster and easier way that you could book discovery calls? Maybe you've even considered Xing discovery calls all together, right? Oh my gosh, if I could type today. Okay, let's see. So don't worry about, like, you go back and edit this, okay? That's one of the steps. The first thing is, we're not perfecting it. We'll go back and edit everything after. Right now, it's like, let's just get the content. Okay, so here's the 3. So I did 3 questions, okay? Or 3 pain points, okay, from my audience. 3 pain points, and I turned them into questions, okay? Because this is gonna entice them to read it. It's interesting. So now the second step here, right, is that you want to show how you can relate, okay? Because you got to create relatability, all right? So now that I've got their attention, I've spoke to their pain, now in order for them to keep reading, they need to understand, like, do you even get it, Anne? Like, how do you get what I'm going through? Okay, so first you want to connect with them and show them, listen, I get it, I've been there, I understand, okay? Because that is part of creating the know, like, and trust, is really showing, creating relatability. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do step number 2, which is, 4 or 5 separate sentences that's basically showing relatability, and you don't have to do that many, but you could do 4 to 5. So I might say, I remember when I first started my business, I was literally booking around 30-ish discovery calls each and every month. Okay. Seems like a good problem to have, yeah? Okay, then we're gonna come down. You might think so, but it actually wasn't. Okay, so now I'm keeping them interested. They want to know, well, why wasn't it? You're booking 30 freaking discovery calls a month, and how's that not a good problem to have? The problem was that none of those calls turned into sales. And then I might say, like, ouch. Okay, so I'm keeping it interested. All the time I spent booking these calls, conducting these calls, nothing. No sales, no return on investment. Okay, so now I've gone through, we've got the questions. Now I've gone through and I've done 3 here so far. And now I'm gonna do another one. I realized that bookend discovery calls that actually turned into sales was much harder than I imagined. I needed to find another way to generate sales in my business because this strategy certainly wasn't working. Okay, so now I've created a few relatabilities here, right? So maybe they're booking discovery calls, you know, they're putting in the time, all this time to book the calls and then conduct the calls. They're not getting sales and not seeing a return on investment. So I'm showing them here how I can relate, right? And then I'm telling them, listen, I realized booking discovery calls that actually turn into sales was much harder than I imagined, right? I needed to find another way to generate sales in my business because this strategy certainly wasn't working. So I've gone through and I've showed them how I can relate. So now it's time to paint the picture of possibility. So this is where you're going to share a way that you've either overcome this problem, this challenge, this obstacle, or your turning point, right? So now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, this was about the time, whoops. Okay, I don't know if you guys can relate, but my mind thinks a lot faster than my fingers can type. Okay, this is about the time that I started to look at some new ways of getting sales in my business. I knew I had to be speaking to people, as that is the fastest and most easiest way to close sales. But straight up, bookend discovery calls wasn't the answer. So let's see. So I decided to map out a launch plan and come up with a new way to get people on the phone with me. I didn't have a lot of time. And then I would say something like, Lord knows I already wasted so much time that I can't get back. So I needed a faster strategy. I needed cash in the door like yesterday, and I needed to make this happen right away. When I realized that I could do a simple and super fast launch to get calls on my calendar with more qualified prospects, I knew I was headed in the right direction. Okay. Okay. So let me see what we got here. So now I'm going to go up here. Okay. So now I've kind of showed them the possibility that, hey, there's another way. You can actually do something else to book discovery calls, right? So I'm going to kind of now go into teasing and creating a little bit of suspense or like a cliffhanger, right? So I'm going to go into tease just a little bit. Within a couple of weeks of launching, I realized that I had people booking calls with me and purchasing my program. It felt a lot easier and results were happening a lot faster. Okay. I wasn't begging anyone to get on the phone with me. Actually, I didn't even need to ask people to get on the phone with me. I know, right? Then I might say, my entire launch was 1 week. My pre-launch was about a month. And my calendar was not only full, but I sold out my entire program and made more sales, and that was in those 2 months than I had the previous year. The best part was that I hardly had to sell, and I didn't work nearly as hard or long to get these results. So now I've kind of teased, because I haven't actually told them what I did, right? I didn't actually tell them like what I did to do this. So they're still saying, oh my God, well, wait a minute. How did you do it though, Anne? How did you do this, right? So I've kind of teased a little bit. Now what you want to do is we're going to go through real quick and just edit, because when you do like a write-in like this, it's kind of like a brain dump. So I'm just going to go through. So here's what it's going to sound like. Do you ever wonder why booking discovery calls is so damn hard? Like seriously, we have billions of people on the net and we can't seem to book a qualified discovery call if our life depended on it. And I'm going to say, which by the way, it does. And I'm going to put a little smiley face because I do that a lot. Have you ever thought that maybe there is a faster, I'm going to actually say, have you ever thought that maybe there's a faster and easier way that you could book discovery calls? A faster and easier way, I'm just going to say, we're going to take this out, way to book discovery calls. So have you ever thought that maybe there's a faster and easier way to book discovery calls? Maybe you've even considered X and discovery calls all together. Been there. I remember when I first started my business, I was literally booking around 30-ish discovery calls each and every month. Seems like a good problem to have, yeah? You might think so, but it actually wasn't. The problem was that none of those calls turned into sales. Ouch. All the time I spent booking these calls, conducting these calls, nothing. No sales, no return on investment. I realized that booking discovery calls that actually turned into sales was much harder than I imagined. I needed to find another way to generate sales in my business because this strategy certainly wasn't working. This was about the time that I started to look at some new ways of getting sales in my business. I knew I had to be speaking to people, as that is the fastest and most easiest way to close sales, but straight up booking discovery calls wasn't the answer. So I decided to map out a launch plan and come up with a new way to get people on the phone with me. I didn't have a lot of time. Lord knows I already wasted so much time I can't get back. So much time I couldn't get back. So I needed a faster strategy. I needed cash in the door like yesterday, and I needed to make this happen right away. When I realized that I could do a simple and super fast launch to get calls on my calendar with more qualified prospects, I knew I was headed in the right direction. Within a couple of weeks of launching, I realized that I had people booking calls with me and purchasing my program. It felt a lot easier and results were happening a lot faster. And then I might just say, win-win, baby. I wasn't begging anyone to get on the phone with me. Actually, I didn't even need to ask people to get on the phone. All right, so I might change this here. I wasn't begging anyone to get on the phone with me. Actually, I didn't even have to ask people to get on the phone with me. Okay, I know, right? My entire launch was 1 week. My pre-launch was about a month, and my calendar was not only full, but I sold out my entire program and made more sales in those 2 months than I had the previous year. The best part was that I hardly had to sell, and I didn't work nearly as hard or long to get those results. Okay, so now I've gone through, let's just say I'm cool with this. There's obviously, I would give this to my editor, they would edit, they would go through and do all that good jam. But let's just say I'm cool with it, sounds good, I'm ready to, you know, send it. So now you need to go to step 6, close with a call to action. Everything needs a call to action. Okay, so now I'm gonna say, is this sounding pretty, no, let me see. So now you want to do like a call to action. So you want to think about what you write in here, and obviously what is your goal. So let's see, what would my goal be? I'm going to say, is this resonating with you? Let's see. Is this sounding like a total badass strategy that you'd like to get your hands on? Are you dying to know what the heck I did to turn this sales, let's see, to turn this, are you dying to know what the heck I did to turn my results around so quickly and easily? Well, I am eager to share it. Just hit reply and just hit reply. And then I might say, to easier and faster sales. And then I might just say EXO. So I put my call to action in there. Now your call to action is going to depend on what your goal is, right? If you're trying to get them into a particular program, if you're trying to just invite them to your Facebook group, if you're trying to get them to opt in for maybe a webinar or a Facebook Live or something, if you're trying to just get them to hit reply and just engage, for crying out loud, right? So like it depends on what your call to action is, but you got to have a call to action in every single email. Now, if this is like, so for my newsletters, I don't usually, and I say that lightly, I don't usually have a call to action where I'm asking them to purchase something. Normally, my newsletter consists of free value. Right, so it's really simple, just free value. The call to action would be like, come join my group or hit reply and let me know your takeaway, right? Like normally in a sales, a newsletter, I wouldn't be promoting something that's like a paid thing. I might have them join a webinar or come hit up my Facebook group so they can watch me do a Facebook Live, but I wouldn't usually say, come buy this, or hey, join us in this program, or come pay for this. Those are in my promotional emails, which you can structure the same way as I'm doing here. But typically, you should have an email going out once a week that is really not promotional. It's more just engaging and creating value, and asking them to just engage back with you, right? So you could, if I was going to, this would be my newsletter typically. Like I would do it like this, where I'm not asking you to purchase. I'm just asking you to hit reply. I would probably bold that, right? And just say, just hit reply. Or I might say, is this sounding like a total badass strategy? I'd love to know your biggest takeaway. Hit reply and let me know, right? So depending on what your goals are is how you'd structure this. So you'll want to really consider that when you're creating certain pieces of content. There's always a call to action, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to ask them to buy something, right? So you'll want to be careful with that, okay? So I want to know what your guys' takeaway is from this. Now, inside, I want to let you guys know real quick that we're on the countdown right now. Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the program, my Sales Remedy training program, is going to be closing. The cart is officially closed at 11:59 p.m. this Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. Inside that program, you guys are going to not only be learning how to master sales, but also create content just like this. There's other formulas I have and templates for you guys that I've created, that I use in my business, that are really, really successful. It just makes content creation so much easier. I'm going to be sharing all of my templates and formulas with you guys on how to create marketing content faster and easier that actually give you a return on your investment, right? It gets your community engaging and conversating with you and opening your emails, clicking your emails, taking action. It positions you as such an expert in a way where you're not just blasting out constant promotion. I think there's a time and a place for that. You know, when you're in total launch mode, then yes, you might throw out a little more promotion than you normally would. But to get people to actually buy from you, you first need to really be nurturing them and giving them a lot of value. And there's very specific strategies that I have been using and testing for more than 6 months now that literally work like gold. They've made things easier. You know, creating content is easier. Marketing and filling my programs is easier. Getting discovery calls when I need them is easier and faster. I'm getting more qualified people on the phone. I'm getting less people on the phone, but more qualified, which means more sales. I'm learning strategies that are allowing me to renew current clients, so that I'm not always chasing down the next clients. You're also going to learn just how to conduct a proper sales call. So basically, my conversation to close formula is the step-by-step strategies that I've used for more than 5 years now to generate to close 98% of all of my discovery calls. So I don't typically do a lot of discovery calls anymore, but when I do, I close them. And there is a process, a step-by-step formula I have literally used. It has not even changed over the 5 years. It's the same strategies I've used, and they work perfectly. You're going to get that entire formula, but I'm also throwing in my money funnel formula, which is how I pre-launch, how I launch. How long do I do that? What emails do I send out? When do those emails go out? What content do I create during my pre-launch to get people to purchase when I actually launch? What kind of content do I make? What does it look like? What does it say? And how far apart is everything separated out and sent? So you're going to learn in exactly how I do plan out my launch, do my pre-launch, actually launch, follow up and close at the end, how I fill the programs. I'm going to give you all the emails, all the templates, every single step-by-step piece that you need to do this. You're also going to learn super fast cash strategies. So the program's not going to teach you just how to close sales, but it's going to teach you how to do it quickly and easily, with less effort, less sales, less work, less time. Okay, so we're really looking at how can we close more sales, reach more people with less effort and less time, so that we can make this happen quickly. And these are all rinse repeatable strategies. I've stripped away the fluff. I've stripped away the filler. There's nothing in here that you don't need to know. I'm not adding in stuff just to make it look good or just to give you more. You're literally only going to learn what you need to close more sales, qualified sales, faster and easier with less time, less effort. And then I'm throwing in this the money funnel formula as a bonus training for you that's also going to take your sales to an entire another level. So in the program, instead of just giving you the fast cash strategies and how to really master the sales conversation and discovery calls, and overcome those objections, I'm also taking it to another level with you guys, and I'm bonusing in this money funnel formula so that you can automate a portion of your sales and a portion of your value and your content. and we're going to automate that part so that while you're doing your fast cash strategies and you're building that up and generating income inside the program, you also have this funnel that's on automation that's working behind the scenes, that's going to generate additional income for you, and it's on automation, so it's rents repeatable. Your only job will be to drive traffic to that funnel. And then the other good thing inside this program is one of the bonuses, because there's some other bonuses, but one of the bonuses for you guys that I'm giving you is my lead tech is going to take the money funnel formula and set it up for you in your email marketing system. How freaking cool is that? So she's going to take the formula, the structure, the framework, and she's going to set it up in your email marketing system. So all you have to do is literally take the templates that I give you, the email templates I give you, and go plug them into the system that she already sets up for you. How awesome is that? So for those of you that are like, oh my God, I'd love to have an automated funnel all set up that actually works and whatever, that I can just drive traffic to, how phenomenal would that be? But Anne, I suck at technology. Well, my hand is raised because so do I. But no worries there, because my lead tech is going to set this up for you so that all you do is take the email templates I give you, go plug it into this structure, your email system that we've got set up for you, your funnel, and then just drive traffic to it. And I'm going to be showing you in the sales program how to drive traffic to it. Not just traffic, but qualified traffic. I'm going to give you a ton of free options, and I'm going to give you some paid options, and I'm going to recommend the ones that work the fastest and the best. So seriously, this is a program you don't want to miss. If any of this is speaking to you, if any of what I have just shared with you or said is something that you really need to master this year, that you need to really nail and get under control, this program is a program. I've got some experts coming in that's going to share some amazing stuff with you guys around content creation, just around like really using Facebook to generate income and create clients, and tons more stuff. I've got so many experts that are coming in and giving you guys some awesome training. So there's a lot of bonuses. There's a lot of experts coming in to really help you up level. So we're going to take the training to another level. Literally, there's so freaking much great stuff happening in this program, and I'm constantly releasing like really cool bonuses that are just not filler. They're going to really help take things to another level for you. So if content creation and marketing strategies and booking qualified discovery calls and closing more sales and setting up some automated funnels with some passive income and creating really sellable offers, overcoming those objections, really being able to have a good follow-up process, getting all of my templates, all my step-by-steps, all my formulas, all my blueprints, everything you need to just really make this year freaking happen for you financially, really setting yourself up as an authority and being able to, get yourself out there in a way that people are coming to you wanting to work with you. You got to get in this program. I'll put the link here for you so that you have it. All you have to do is go to www.thesalesremedy.com and then go to /. Actually, you could just go there. If you go there, you could check out the entire sales page. I can just take you there. If you go here to thesalesremedy.com, it's going to take you to the sales page where you can check everything out. The money funnel formula bonus is not on there because I just decided to throw that in. That's not actually something that's part of it. I just decided to give it. But you could go here and check out the page if you feel you need to. There's not much more you're going to see here than what I just told you, honestly. But you could check out the investment options. We have a one-time payment, or I got a really cool extended payment plan option happening right now. So you're literally only paying $285 a month. Super cool. If you go to /remedy, and so www.thesalesremedy.com /remedy, it's just going to bypass the sales page and take you straight to make a payment so you can secure your spot. choice is yours. If you need to go to the sales page just to get more information, there's some facts and questions on there. There's more details. There's some testimonials. Like, seriously, indulge on the sales page if you feel you need to. If you're like, this is totally speaking to me, I need to get this help, I need to up level my sales, something's got to change, it needs to happen now, then this is the page you want to come to right here. Grab your spot, because this cart is closing Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have no idea when I'm launching this program again. I have no idea when I'll ever offer the money funnel formula. It's something brand new that I'm just putting in, so I have no plans for that as of this very moment. And the cart's going to be closing. So we have some amazing women already in the Facebook group connecting, eating up some of the bonuses, preparing for class. We start May 1st with live orientation. So you definitely want to grab your spot so that we can get you all set up with everything you need before Monday. So yeah, if this is all speaking to you, then, you know, you guys, I definitely recommend you head over to thesalesremedy.com /remedy and grab your spot, because seriously, this is baller. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Now is the time to ask them. I still have some space if you need to get on a phone call with me. Happy to answer questions. I'm happy to talk to you if you're not quite sure this is for you, or if you need to have a little more guidance and support on how you can make this happen for you. How you could get yourself in the program if it is, in fact, definitely feeling like this could totally be your next step, your game changer, right? So let me know if you have any questions. Drop them in the comments below. I'm going to be signing up some people today and over the weekend, so I'm definitely available if you need to have a chat, or if you have any trouble getting signed up. Other than that, if you have any takeaways from today or any other questions, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. All right, so I will see you guys all real soon.